There you go. So he's already planning. You can see this right now, guys. He's already planning his exit to China. You see it in the way he says it. He's like, he wants to get this side behind him, ready to get out. And we're going to talk about the timeline. He may not. He's planning to move to China so quickly, the case might not even be over. It might be very difficult to do that with a felony. China tends not to like felonies.
Hank Yu is now on the verge of facing a travel ban, and trust me, this isn't some rumor you can just brush off. At first, you might think this is fake news, just another twist in the Hank Yu and Johnny Somali mess. But what you're about to hear will shock you. Yes, you heard that right. From the beginning, Hank Yu has made it clear that he wanted to escape to China. But new reports suggest that he actually tried to make that move already, and this time, it may not be possible.
He's already planning his exit to China. You see it in the way he says it. He's like, he wants to get this side behind him.
The reason? Hank Yu isn't just some innocent bystander. He's now under investigation for supporting Johnny Somali in multiple crimes. And with charges stacking up, the chances of Hank Yu facing legal consequences alongside Johnny are higher than ever. Think about it. Do you really believe South Korean authorities are going to let him hop on a plane and disappear into another country whenever he wants? Absolutely not. Officials are already on his back. And if the latest reports are true, Hank Yu could soon be trapped inside South Korea until every single investigation is complete. Let's break it all down. First, we need to talk about how Hank Yu even got tangled up in all of this. He claims he never invited Johnny Somali to South Korea. But the reality is very different. In fact, Hank Yu openly admitted that when he saw Johnny Somali's content in Japan, where he mocked Japanese history, culture, and even joked about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he thought it was based.
You're the one who invited him here.
No.
No?
I was not. Like there are rumors like that, but I was not the one who invited him here. I do believe that's like one of his like other friends who said, "Yo, go to Korea."
Then how did you get in touch with him once he arrived here?
I realized that he was in Korea, and I thought what he did in Japan was based.
What did he do in Japan?
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we're gonna do it again.
That's right. Instead of condemning Johnny's behavior, Hank Yu supported him. And that tells you everything you need to know. When you see someone who disrespects nations, provokes locals, and spreads hate, and you decide to stand with them, that's not friendship. That's partnership in crime. So now, South Korean authorities are taking action. Why would they allow Hank Yu to quietly slip away when he's clearly tied to someone already facing prison time? That's exactly why investigations are now pointing in his direction. Even legal analysts have started chiming in. In one discussion, the channel Legal Mindset highlighted that Hank Yu's behavior makes it obvious.
So he's already planning. You can see this right now, guys. He's already planning his exit to China. You see it in the way he says it. He's like, he wants to get this side behind him, right? This is why I'm saying it's goodbye to Hank. You can see in this voice, he's like ready to go to China. He's ready to get out. And we're going to talk about the timeline. He may not. He's planning to move to China so quickly, the case might not even be over. Especially if Johnny appeals it, especially if he fights it, whatever else, especially if new case comes in and he has to fight a separate trial. Like Johnny may be like still like fighting his court case at that point. We don't know right now, or it might be serving a sentence. But the point is, he's not going to be sitting there waiting for Johnny.
But here's the problem. How can Hank Yu sit around waiting for Johnny Somali's sentencing when he knows that the investigation could easily shift to him? He knows exactly how much shady business he and Johnny did together. And if even one piece of evidence comes to light, Hank Yu could be facing his own charges. That's why he's so desperate to run.
I realized that he was in Korea, and I thought what he did in Japan was based.
But even if he manages to apply for a visa or a study program in China, there's still another huge problem: his criminal record. China doesn't take kindly to foreigners with felonies. Even if he tries to pull strings, the odds of him getting accepted are slim.
Right? He's not going to be sitting there waiting for Johnny. We're going to talk about him going to China and all this other stuff. I mean, one thing I'll say is this. If he's accurately reporting his felony, going to China may be pretty hard. So I don't know whether he pulled strings or he greased the wheel or if he hasn't applied yet, but it might be kind of difficult to get into a program he wants to study in China. It might be very difficult to do that with a felony. China tends not to like felonies.
But South Korean authorities aren't relying on China to reject him. They have their own plan. And it's very possible they'll put an official travel ban in place, blocking him from leaving until Johnny Somali's trial, sentencing, and the child welfare investigations are completely resolved. And that's just one layer of the problem. Let's not forget Hank Yu has another major controversy hanging over his head: his refusal to serve in the South Korean military. Every male citizen is required to complete mandatory service, yet Hank Yu has said repeatedly that he wants to join the US Army instead. In his own words,
I wanted to join the United States Army so badly. Like I wanted to be a ranger.
To South Korean officials, this is not just disrespectful, it's betrayal. He's a Korean national, born in Korea, publicly rejecting his own country's service requirements while pledging loyalty to another country's army. For authorities, this isn't about one bad decision. It's about national loyalty, and Hankyu has made himself look like a traitor. And if you think that's bad, it gets worse. Hankyu has repeatedly mocked South Korean culture, criticized the government, and even live-streamed himself insulting the police and prosecutors. In South Korea, where defamation and insult laws are extremely strict, this isn't just rude. It's illegal. Take one example. During a live stream, Hankyu disrespected the South Korean flag itself. Instead of treating it with respect, he kicked it aside while saluting another. To many viewers, this wasn't just offensive, it was unforgivable.
You know what? Fuck this. That's more like it, right? Hell yeah. 相亲相亲相亲
Authorities also discovered that Hankyu spread lies about South Korean history. For instance, when speaking about the Statue of Peace, a monument honoring victims of Japanese military exploitation, he claimed the history was unclear and even suggested the victims may not have been forced. He framed it as artistic expression. But for Koreans, this was beyond insulting.
These metal statues of kidnapped Korean teenage girls who were made to serve as slaves for the Japanese military during World War II. But the history is not even clear that whether they were slaves or willing.
There's still debate on it. If you go to Japan, they say that didn't happen. Some people say it's not a political stance, what I did to the statue. But technically, because I feel like this live streaming is my expression. It's how I express myself. Yes. It's an art form to me.
And let's be honest. Why did he say it? To defend Johnny Somali. To cover for his ally by minimizing crimes against Korea's history. That's why the authorities began taking him seriously, not as some loudmouth streamer, but as a genuine threat. Because here's the truth. The Statue of Peace isn't just a sculpture. It's a national symbol of pain, sacrifice, and survival. It represents the voices of countless victims. For Hankyu to downplay it so casually is not only dishonest, it's deeply disrespectful to his own country. So with all of this combined, the investigations, the refusal of military service, the open disrespect of Korean history, and his public insults toward the government, it's no surprise that South Korea is preparing to take action. A travel ban is not only likely, it's logical. And honestly, that's just the beginning. Authorities can keep him in South Korea, pile on more charges, and make sure he faces the consequences alongside Johnny Somali. So now the big question is, what happens next? Will Hankyu actually try to defy the system and flee anyway? Or will the law finally catch up with him, forcing him to face the same fate as Johnny Somali? Whatever happens, one thing is clear. Hankyu thought he could play the system, disrespect his own country, and walk away untouched. But now the walls are closing in. Actions have consequences. And for Hankyu, those consequences may have just arrived. So tell me, do you think Hankyu will actually manage to escape? Or is this finally the moment South Korea makes him face justice?